All right, guys, welcome. There is actually a an article here from the AFK joining team, and they are talking about the new hero coming up, Florabelle, the Blooming Maiden. So let's get into it. Let's see if they're actually gonna give us some explanation regarding what our kid does, because I can only speculate so far. I don't know if there's gonna be any numbers, but yeah, we'll see. When it comes to Espera's most amiable hero, there's only one answer: Florabelle. Despite her gentle appearance, she is a formidable fighter. Getting hit by the attack of her bulb sprite, can really sting. Let's take a look at today's hero to learn more about this charming and powerful new character. Okay. As I said before, she just looks like an onion. Once again, she's literally a green onion. Like, if you look at her sleeves, that's what it is. I just want to cut her up and put her in my ramen. Alright, the gentle teacher. Florabelle adores children and is deeply passionate about her role as a teacher. At Jade Lake Academy, her greatest wish is to ensure the carefree and joyful growth of the children at the academy. She gets along well with everyone and speaks to them in a calming manner. Even when faced with the most mischievous troublemakers, she remains incredibly patient and never gets angry, always finding the right way to nurture and encourage them. So this is a picture taken from the teaser we saw, which was beautiful. I really, really, really like the art style they go with, because I feel like it's so unique, especially in the gacha industry. So, you know, it gives an air of... I don't want to say, like, it's not exotic, but it definitely pops up. Like, it... I don't know what to say. It's just unique, okay? I don't have the word. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's really nice to see like a team doing something quite different than the usual, you know, like anime style that we see oftentimes. So yeah, it's nice. Whether children's or adults, Florabelle excels at taking care of them. Whenever the relationship between her classmates and close friends, like her and Parissa, hits a rough patch, it's always Florabelle who steps in to mend things and bring them back together. So she's a close friend to Laika and Parissa. Okay, interesting. Little by little, you discover that beneath her gentle and kind exterior beats an unexpectedly strong heart. The origin of bulb sprites. So they're bulb sprites. So they're like like small elementals, I assume. Standing at 175 centimeters tall, Florabelle is always accompanied by three little companions, affectionately known as the Sleepyhead, the Mischief Maker, and Adorable. Can you tell which is which from the picture below? First of all, 175, she's pretty tall, all things considered. And also, Adorable has to be this one. Oh no, this one is Sleepy. Yeah, this one is Sleepyhead. This one is Adorable. This is definitely Mischief Maker. The one on the right is definitely Mischief Maker. Look at her, she's like, ah! Each bulb sprite wields a unique weapon, a spear, a short bow, and a large hammer. This bulb sprite will take center stage in the skills section below. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. I really like them. Under Florabelle's careful nurturing, each of these bulb sprites has grown happily. They often test Florabelle's patience, but Florabelle never gets angry. It's said that if Florabelle were ever to get angry, the little flower wheels on her head would spin, though no one has ever seen it happen. Oh, such a cute picture. Her hair is so long. I know this is not the first time I say it, but it is incredibly long. And this is like braided, so it would be even longer. Florabelle relies mainly on summoning her three bulb sprites to deal damage while she boosts their attack. Okay, so this is the important thing here. She's a summoner, right? And the question I have is that we know she has buffs. We saw it from the teaser. What I wonder, is she able to also buff other summons? And if that's the case, she's gonna be incredibly powerful with CECIA, for example. CECIA is one of the best characters in the game, right? So if she buffs CECIA, that's gonna be insane. So we'll see. Okay, Pounding Blow. That's her ultimate skill. At the start of a battle, Florabelle summons a spear-wielding bulb sprite to assist her. Oh, so the pound... That's like a passive. So the ultimate is the thing that makes her summon the spear-wielding bulb sprite, which is... Sleepyhead. Okay. When casting her ultimate, Florabelle summons a mighty hammer-wielding bulb sprite. So that's the Mischief Maker, dealing high damage and knocking enemies within an area in the air. With powerful AoE attacks and control effects, Florabelle is an excellent choice for your crowd control formation. So she might be very good with characters like Aaron, right, that like group up enemies. So she might work well for this kind of composition with like Aaron, with Damien, with, I forget his name, the old goat guy that deals more damage if the enemies are under control effects. So that's very interesting to know. She's gonna definitely work well with a lot of the characters inside the Wilder faction, obviously. But as I've said before, there's also a lot of characters that do have control in other faction, and if she's able to buff summons from other characters, she's gonna work very, very well. I could really see a good like 3-2 team with Wilder and Graveborn. But we'll see that later if we have confirmation. Overgrowth feeds a snack to the bulb sprite with the highest attack, enlarging it and granting it powerful buffs for a limited duration. Don't underestimate this skill, it can deal significant damage to enemies in many combat situations. So the thing here is that it says feed a snack to the bulb sprite with the highest attack. So this doesn't work on other summons. Overgrowth does not work on other summons. So maybe she has other skill that would work, but for now, this is only for a bulb sprite. So let's see. So this, we can see here, the little hourglass is actually haste, and the teeth is life drain. So they become big, and they have haste and life drain. Haste, honestly, it's a bit complicated, but basically it makes their skill faster, as well as their attack animation. But there is also an attack speed. Essentially, attack speed is only auto attack. Haste is both auto attack and skill. So that's the difference, apparently, from what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me if I am. Don't hesitate to comment about that. Okay, Tiny Sharpshooter. Florabelle summons a short bow bulb sprite. If there is already a short bow bulb sprite on the battlefield, when this skill is cast, it will instead unleash a burst of arrows. That's what we saw in the little teaser. So she first has to summon the bulb sprite. Interesting. Hitting enemies with multiple shots in a short amount of time, this skill gives Florabelle a decent range attack capabilities. So in the teaser, we saw that she was shooting 2 enemies, but there was only 2 on the field. So the question I have is, does that work? How many enemies can she target? Or is it an AoE effect? Like, it's gonna hit all enemies within, like, a small area, you know? So I don't know about that. Also, the big question is, obviously, what's the cooldown of this? Because is she able to summon the shortbow bulb sprite, which is adorable, and then able to cast that burst of arrow again? We don't know. The question also is, can those summons die? Can they be taken out of the fight? Because here, at the start of the fight, Florabelle summons a spear-wielding bulb sprite. And when she casts the ultimate, she summoned the mighty hammer-wielding bulb sprite. So here, if the hammer-wielding bulb sprite, which is Mischief Maker, gets taken out, if she ultis again, it will be resummoned, in theory. But at the start of battle, this doesn't happen a second time. So if the spear-wielding bulb sprite is taken out, is it taken out for the entire of the fight? Meanwhile, with Tiny Sharpshooter, she would be able to resummon bulb sprite, because the skill here only is activated if the wolf sprite is already here, if Adorable is already here. So can they die? And if they die, is spear wielding able to be resummoned? I don't know. So I guess we'll need more details for those specifically. Then we have the Protective Blessing. Florabelle's passive skill grants a permanent shield to allied summons. There it is. There it is. She never hesitates to lend a hand to fellow summoners. I'm sure you already have someone in mind who would make a great teammate for Florabelle. Okay, so her support abilities that would work with other summoners is the shield granting passive skill. So she should be able to give a shield to Damien's little toolbox, or to Mr. Carlyle, which is the summon from CECIA. How big is the shield? That's the real question, obviously. But that is very interesting because, as said, sometimes Mr. Carlyle, depending on which healing unit you're using, he can be pretty far, like deep into the enemy backline, and thus he cannot be healed, so he can get taken down pretty fast. Even though he's still very, very powerful, especially for the crowd control effect he has at summon. But this potentially will get him more uptime, and thus gonna really strengthen the capabilities of CECIA's ultimate ability. This is very, very interesting, so that's nice. So as I was saying earlier, I think she would fit very well in 3 and 2, Wilder and Graveborn respectively, kind of team composition. And I would say something like Damien, Florabelle, Aaron, and then you can have CECIA and Thoran, for example. So you have a big strong line, one of the best tank in the game, if not the best. You have CECIA, one of the best sharpshooter, or marksman, I should say, sorry, who has a summon that's going to get enhanced by Florabelle. And then you have Aaron, who is incredibly powerful. He groups up enemy. He has crowd control again. And then you have Damien, who's going to be your support. He's a good healer. He can disrupt the enemy team as well with his little inventions. And that's summons as well, so they get shielded by Florabelle. So that could be a very, very good team composition. So it's really interesting to see that we already have a character that has very good synergies with already meta characters. So it's almost a bit worrisome because those characters are already like incredibly powerful, and they're gonna become even more powerful with Florabelle. Yeah, but that's definitely gonna be meta defining. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna shape up the game. And I'm looking forward to her. I'm definitely gonna get her because I like a lot of the characters she enhances, specifically CECIA, that everybody has, obviously. So yeah, looking forward to it. I hope this has been interesting, and let me know if you are going to get her as well. All right, peace. See you next time.